Andy, it totally slipped up on or snuck up on me. Do you know the Olympics were starting?
I know, I know. It's kind of been in the background of all the chaos of every day, but yeah, there's that little sporting event that's happening right now.
It is a little crazy. It's in Milan, Italy. I think it's Milan, but also like in a couple other cities. This is the new trend for the Olympics. They cost so much, and basically they're a disaster in terms of like financial ruin for cities and such.
Yeah.
So they're starting to split things up. I think we saw it in Paris where certain things were in Paris, other things were in like the ocean, like in the middle of the ocean,
Yeah.
French territory to do surfing and such. But are you interested in watching? Are you gonna watch them or what?
So they've been big on the Winter Olympics. I pretty much hate all things snow, to be honest. So I don't really get too excited about it. But there are some really cool events, to be honest. I really like. I think speed skating's awesome. The hockey, of course, is
Yeah.
awesome. I'm not a skier, but even seeing the skiing is pretty cool. And so I'll kind of watch as I pass by, but probably not really. But I'll keep up with
Yeah.
are we doing well as America? Are we holding our own? But this actually ties into my like of the week later, so I'll leave that for then. But
Okay.
but there are some things definitely to be excited about with these Olympics.
Have you seen the Lindsey Vonn story? Speaking of
Yeah,
skiing, like
yeah.
she tore her ACL in an event prior, like a couple weeks ago. She's gonna ski on the ACL, torn ACL. I mean, that's toughness right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Some people are complaining and saying that she stole a spot from somebody else. Actually, she had earned the spot. She had already been like designated as the Olympian, and she's gonna ski. Like if she earned the spot, she should get the right to do the spot.
If you think she can do it, yeah, you're not taking away from opportunity. You're the one that qualified. So
Yeah,
it's
she's not taking something away from somebody else.
yeah, yeah.
All right, Andy, let's get into. Got a busy Friday here for us today. A lot of things going on. A lot of things going on around the world. So I thought we'd do a around the world segment type of thing, that goes in a couple of different things, quick hits on them, and then we'll go from to the next topic or
I
something.
feel like that's code for Andy. Don't talk long. I got it. I got it.
Well, I try to I try to be subtle about it. So
Message
um,
received. All right, I'm on it, Dave. I'm ready for rapid fire round one. Let's get through the
okay,
bullshit quick. I got it.
there we go. All right. Hey, Andy, we referenced this thing about the Kennedy Center and how it's going to just Trump has decided he's just going to close it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Didn't tell anybody about it until he posted it in the middle of the night on a True Social. The National Symphony Orchestra plays there. They didn't even know. So that's all good stuff. But Andy, this gets back to a letter from 1964 that Jackie O. Kennedy wrote to members of the board or whatever, talking about some of the dangers of associating her husband's name with the center. She was a little concerned about how it would be used and how it could be, misrepresented. And her husband was all about peace and wanted to do certain things. And this thing could be a political turmoil. But she said, if I do this, I want to make sure that people on the board are not politically motivated people on the board type of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, like just like The Simpsons, Andy, Jackie O's a prognosticator. She saw this coming, and this is what we got with Donald Trump. Any thoughts on this one here, Andy?
Well, I mean, on the Kennedy Center, real quick, I mean, this is a classic Donald Trump move, right? Try and project some kind of win in absolute failure. Look, artists were canceling performances at the Kennedy Center left and right. Nobody wanted to perform there. Nobody wanted to go and be part of Donald Trump's nonsense event that he was trying to have, right? The new Kennedy Center. So rather than recognize that, oh, maybe people hate everything I'm doing right now, we're going to close for renovations, right? Rather than acknowledge defeat and course correct, we're just going to close down for renovations and stop the events of this cultural icon of Washington D.C. It's a classic Donald Trump move. This letter forecast the mess we're in today, much like our Constitution forecasts potential for a corrupt king and tries to put measures in place to keep things balanced. But Donald Trump is such a violent attack on everything America that he tests these norms and he's giving Jackie's letter like teeth because it's showing that her fears were based in legitimacy. Like she was genuinely concerned about real issues that people thought never in America. No, not never. Right now in America. Right now in America. It's disgusting. It's embarrassing.
It is. It absolutely is. Well said, well tied together, and pretty short, Andy, for
I
your
tried.
statement.
I
That's
tried.
good. So, okay, let's go to the next story here, Andy. Corporate layoffs in January were the highest to start the year since 2009. Again, 2008 was the year of the financial crisis. So, 2009, so about almost 20 years here, Andy. So,
Yeah.
and here's the thing, Andy. Corporate layoffs in January are usually prognosticated out several months in advance. So, the continuation of this downtrend in 2025, people are what this is signaling already is, hey, 2026 is just going to continue to be another down year. We're going to continue to lay off workers. Thoughts here on the outlook for the economy as the everything gets the budget strings or purse strings get a little tighter.
It's winning, Dave. We're in the golden
Yeah.
age and we're winning. America is winning. Look, we've got people on the streets unemployed that can't find work. We've already fired great public servants and federal workers. We've got kids in South Carolina having traumatic brain issues because of measles, Dave, because of fucking measles. This is winning in the golden age of Donald Trump. 2026 is going to be a banger of a year because we can't handle this much victory, neither with our unemployment rates, nor with our health, nor with our geopolitics. This is just the endless winning of the golden age. So thank you again, Donald Trump and this great American administration for leading us to these great points of victory, these great points of light.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Speaking of kind of these things, one of the attribute or one of the contributing factors is this rapid move towards AI. And Donald Trump was on with NBC News. It'll be part of the Super Bowl coverage as well. But he was speaking about AI, and I'll give credit to Tom Lamas, the anchor, who was pushing Trump on this about
Yeah.
AI and how Trump continues to wants to be known as the AI president. But it does result in job loss. And Trump says, well, it's going to be job creation in the long run. And look, there is an argument to be made for that. The jobs lost today in AI are just going to create new jobs in the future. That's true, possibly. But he is doubling down on this, and AI continues to be this big gray area where we there's a lot of promise, but there's also a lot of trouble that goes along with it. Okay, Andy, one more topic to get into. Did you know that not the Pope might be the highest, religious figure in the
Yeah.
world, or at least one of the most widely recognized one, but did you also know that Mike Johnson is also like he can give it out too, Andy? I don't know if you saw this. Of course you did because you sent it to me. But the Pope has been speaking out against the Trump's tactics on immigration and his policies and such. And Mike Johnson took his time to educate the Pope on what the Bible really says, Andy.
Yeah.
So I'll quote here: "Sovereign borders are biblical and good and right." And it's not that we hate the people on the outside, wrong. It's because we love the people on the inside. We should love our neighbors, ourselves as individuals, but as civil authority, the government has to maintain the law. And that is biblical and it's right and it's just, Andy.
Yeah.
So, Mike Johnson taking the Pope to task here, Andy. What a
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah. Pope Mike Johnson, America's apparently religious leader of the MAGA movement. I want you to imagine, Dave, imagine if Jesus caveated the Sermon on the Mount. Imagine Jesus caveated the Beatitudes with, hey, praising those who would help others, praising those who would feed others, praising those who would go and see those in jail, right? When I was hungry and you fed me, right? When he talks about these things, but he caveat all that with so long as Caesar permits it, right?
Yeah.
So long as Caesar thinks it's okay, so long as the powers in Rome approve, there was no caveats to moral behavior. There were no caveats to doing the right thing. And so, yeah, if we're going to talk about, hey, we want to be a faith-based government, as this government seems to want to be, as we have more MAGA politicians, want to tear down the walls between church and state. Okay, let's see that. Go love your neighbor, your Latin American neighbor, as you love yourself. Is that what ICE is doing on the streets of America? Was ICE loving Alex Preddy when they murdered him in cold blood on the streets of Minnesota? Was that in line with Jesus' teachings, or is that a caveat that we could carve out because the government has to do certain things? So the government will exercise moral and Christian authority when convenient, and will have the half the administration show up at a prayer breakfast to bow their heads and give thanks to God. Meanwhile, they're sending thugs out in the streets to murder fellow Americans. These jackasses can't reconcile true faith with the actions, violence, hatred, and vitriol of their actions in Congress and coming out of Washington, D.C. But they'll try and put it together. They'll share their talking points. And so, yeah, you can choose to support Pope Mike Johnson and his radical religious beliefs and his alignment of faith and politics. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do that as a Catholic. I don't know how you do that as a Christian. I don't know how you do that as an American. But fuck it. Do whatever Donald Trump, Pope Mike Johnson, and whatever do you want to call Donald Trump. Well, if that's your faith leaders, by all means, follow your faith leaders.
But Andy, May 17th is going to be the day where we go to the mall and all pray to rededicate America as one country under God, Andy. Did
Yeah.
you see that news? I mean, he was obviously, this is Trump is definitely the guy who never goes to church. Who never, the only time he's been to church, I think we've seen in the 5.5, 6 years is when he held the Bible upside down
That's fucking
the
jackass.
riots that were occurring all around the Black Lives Matter stuff, and he
Right.
walked from the White House to the church that he'd never been in his life. So, okay, all right, Andy, now I'm just annoyed. So
Yeah, thanks.
let's get away from that and let's go, Andy, to the Super Bowl.
Let's please let's.
You are heading down to Orlando to go watch the Super Bowl with your son, I
Yeah.
think, and
Yes.
so what's your favorite part here? Like we were kind of talking about this, and I got some prop bets I want to go through here in a minute,
All
but
right. All right.
what's your favorite part here, Andy? Is it being around your family? Obviously, going down. Is it the food? Is it the game? The commercials? What's your favorite part?
Yeah, I mean, look, I love the game of football. I love watching it. I enjoy it. I can watch a football game on my own, but really, football has become, family for me, and that is the best thing. And my oldest son loves football. But my youngest son and I have watched just a lot of football together, and so like when I watch a game, whether I'm sitting alongside him or texting him, like just a chance to connect and to laugh and to joke and to cheer and to jeer and express frustration and celebration. He's an Eagles fan. I'm a Lions fan. My eldest son's a Commanders fan. To be able to just enjoy the spirit of the game and all of that with friends and family lovers. I think that's the best part. So for me, going to Orlando to spend time with my son to enjoy the game with him. But I think wherever, however, people coming together just to have fun and enjoy the celebration of America's greatest game and this, world championship game, the storylines, the excitement. I just love it. I love it.
I mean, what about the food though, Andy? Like I always look forward to the food, like just
Food
having
is good too, Dave.
like
Food is good
pulling out
too.
the appetizers and just having like the various dips and such. And
Yeah,
look, I made a mistake years ago where I chose to watch the game with some friends and not with
I
my,
remember this. Yeah, I remember you
my
saying this.
family, and I swore I'd never do that again. And so like every time, and I watch, you know, stay at home. I don't go to a Super Bowl party anymore or anything like that.
Yeah,
And just watch it at home. We get some, appetizers, we watch the commercials, just have some fun. And
yeah.
with the boys gone now, it's not, the girls like to watch a little bit, but they don't watch the whole game. So, but for a little while, it's fun. I enjoy just being home mostly. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it for sure. It's going to be great.
okay, Andy, so let's go through a couple prop bets here
Yeah,
that I pulled out. Just these little fun ones. And there's a lot of just neat ones. And let's just decide, let's just pick something so we can kind of hold ourselves accountable. At
okay.
the end of the Super Bowl, we're going to go through our playoff picks again, our confidence picks, our coaches picks,
That didn't
and
go
see
well
what
for me.
we did.
Yeah.
So, by the way, spoiler alert, they're awful. So
Yeah.
we'll go there. So, all right, Andy, the national anthem. the length of time it'll take the national anthem. The over under is 119.5 seconds for those who are calculating in their head. That's just a half a second short of 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Are you going over or under on the 119.5?
I'm I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take the over, Dave. I think America's song will be sung for just over 2 minutes. I think that's reasonable.
Okay, I think this is I think a country music star who's doing this. Scott Charlie P Puth, I think Puth.
Charlie
Uh,
Puth, yeah, yeah. I don't think is he considered country? I think he's more pop, but
is he? I don't
yeah,
know. I
yeah,
think he sounds like he should be country Andy. So
yeah,
I think he's going to want to get into the whole, give America a good shout out and sing
yeah,
it loud and
yeah,
loud. So I'm going to go over there as well. Okay, Andy, the Gatorade dumping at the end of the game.
yeah.
Here are the favorites. Orange, blue, they're minus 240 on the gambling sky. Then you've got yellow, green, lime is one,
Yeah.
purple, clear, and then red slash pink. Orange, blue, yellow, green, lime, purple, clear, or red, pink. Where do you think here going here?
I'm going yellow. I'm going yellow.
You're gonna go yellow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go blue, Andy. I'm gonna
Yellow.
go with the blue. Blue's my favorite color. I kind of like it. I got a sense of blue on this one here.
Okay. All right.
So we're picking a couple of the favorites there.
Okay.
Okay. Win straight up, Andy. Who's gonna win the game straight up? You kind of signaled this yesterday, or on Wednesday. You said Seahawks. Are you sticking with the Seahawks?
Yeah. Seahawks win.
Okay. I am too, and one of our loyal listeners thinks that we should have renamed the pod Men of a Certain Seahawk. So we'll give a shout out to Dave there, not Dave Pounder, the other Dave. We'll go with that. Now, who's going to win against the spread, Andy? The spread is the Seahawks are favored by 4.5 points. So if you pick the Seahawks, you're saying that they're going to win by more than 4.5 points.
Yeah.
If you pick the Patriots, they can win as long as they don't lose by more than 4.5 or 5 points, I guess. Then that's it. So where are you going to go with this one, Andy?
I think if you're betting, my guess is that the Seahawks will cover the spread and win by more than seven, by more than four.
I'm with you on this one as well. I think, I think this is going to be a close game, but again, 5 points is it's just like it could be, a 3 point game and then the Seahawks then kick another field goal or they go up by 10. I could see this being a 6 or 7 point game, to be honest.
Yeah, or more, Dave. I think look, the Patriots might be able to hold their own and suppress this offense. They might. And again, I think it comes down, as I was, I think, saying on Wednesday, does Sam Darnold, contain himself and make smart choices in the biggest game of his life? And if he does, and I think he will, I don't think the Patriots stop them. And I think Seahawks will cover the spread and then some.
All right, there you go. That's a good call out there. Okay, couple more, Andy. Which song will Green Day open with? Is it going to be American Idiot, Basket Case, Know Your Enemy, or Boulevard of Broken Dreams? Those are the top four, Andy.
That's tough. That's tough. They could go a lot of different ways. I want to say they'll do some variation of American Idiot. That was a song that they put out during their pushback on the George W. Bush administration and the war in Iraq, and it's a good song. And I wouldn't be surprised if they opened with that. Not at all.
I'm going to go the opposite way. I think they're going to open up, and I think they're going to close with American Idiot.
Okay.
I think they're going to close with that. So I'll go with Basket Case just for fun. So I'll write that one down.
All right.
All right, four more quick ones here. Will Seattle attempt to pass inside the 1 yard line? Again, remember the 1 yard line is where the Patriots famously intercepted the
Yeah.
Seahawks.
Yeah.
Preserve that
They,
win.
they will not, Dave. They will not. If they get
Okay.
to the one, they will slam it in with young Mr. Walker there, or Sam Darnold will run it in. I don't think they're going to pitch the ball from the one. The ghosts
I
of
don't
the past must not be revisited.
I think that I agree with you on that as well. Um, okay, how about this one, Andy? Will there be a 2-point attempt in the game? Either team, 2-point attempt.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna go yes. I think this could be if I'm gonna go with the point spread, I could see they're gonna try a 2-point conversion to get within some range or something. Okay, MVP of the game, Sam Darnold versus the field. The field is favored. So would you go, you're gonna go with either Sam Darnold? If you're gonna say the Seahawks are gonna win, it's likely gonna be a quarterback that takes you there. Sam Darnold or somebody else?
Well, I don't know if it is necessarily going to be quarterback. I think Sam Darnold could be the MVP. I think he could be. But there's some players on the Seahawks. There are some offensive weapons. We mentioned again, Cooper Kupp has already been a Super Bowl MVP. Smith and Jigba is phenomenal on the field. Their running back is pounding, and now he's a solo act. He was part of a dynamic duo. Now he's a solo guy running back there because of an injury. He plays really, really well. I could see one of these skills players on offense just making plays and having that breakout game where America's like, who is this guy? Like, who people are Googling his name, trying to find out his story. Like, where did he come from? I've never heard of him. How do I pronounce his name? I can easily see that happening in this game. So I'm going to say the Seahawks win. The Seahawks get the MVP. I'm saying somebody on offense breaks out and takes the
Okay.
MVP home that's not Sam Darnold.
I'm also going to go with the field in this one. I'll do that as well. Do you remember the Redskins back in
Yes.
the day?
Yes.
Tim Smith ran for over 200 yards and won the MVP and
Yep.
never heard from ever again, Andy.
So I have a good work colleague and friend who was quarterback on the high school team with Tim Smith.
Oh, geez, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. All right, last one, Andy. This fun one. Will Bad Bunny expose a nipple? Yes or no?
Will Bad Bunny have a nip slip?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think we'll see Bad Bunny's nipple during the game to the rage of the MAGA faithful. What I'd like to see, I want to see Bad Bunny come out. I want to see him come out dressed like Beyonce from the Super Bowl that you went to, Dave, when you saw the Ravens play. I want to see him come out in something that's going to absolutely drive the MAGA faithful nuts, you know. But he won't. He's going to come out and he's going to do his thing. But yeah, I'll take the yes on the nip slip.
I want to see Bad Bunny come out in all MAGA gear and just kind of like rub it in the face
He
and
could do that too. He could.
yeah,
That could be the start of the act. So
yeah,
it'll be fun. It's going to be something. It's going to be
yeah.
something.
It will be something. It'll be a great atmosphere again. Another great Super Bowl. We'll see. So, okay, Andy, let's wrap up the week. Our dislike and likes for the week. This has been a fun segment the last couple weeks. So, let's start with you. Where are you going to go with your dislike of the week?
My dislike of the week. So Dave, I'm going to go. I didn't want to go here, but I'm going to go here. I'm just going to go to the endless lies and bullshit of this administration. And so Donald Trump being interviewed by NBC, you spoke to that earlier. The question: why was Tulsi Gabbard at a raid on a Georgia election office? President Donald J. Trump? I don't know. That's his response. I don't know. Earlier in the week, Tulsi Gabbard, in a letter to Congress, in quotes, Dave, my presence was requested by the president. These two statements cannot both be true unless Donald Trump does, in fact, have dementia. They can't both be true. Endless lies, violence, and bullshit. That is my dislike of the week, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, he went further. Tulsi Gabbard said even that the president called her at the raid so she could talk to the FBI. He could talk to the FBI agents. This is
Yeah.
just bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. I mean, nothing about what Trump said in that interview is anything good. Like, even the decombobulator weapon that he says he's the
He's,
is
he's, I think he was struck. I think he's been hit by the decombobulator.
yeah, yeah. He made that name up, Andy, as you can
Yeah,
imagine. So,
really.
okay, my dislike of the week, Andy, is this week in between the Super Bowl. Football games go every week on
Yeah,
schedule. You get a bye
yeah.
week every so often. But for some reason, well, we know why, because there's more, more money making opportunity for the NFL. They go from conference championship and then skip a week and then they go to the Super Bowl. This week is worthless. There are no storylines. Like all these are just bullshit storylines. You have former NFL players repping brands, so they go around and give interviews, and then they get the last like 5 minutes to talk about whatever product they're trying to pimp. I just hate it. It's like bullshit. We like of storylines. I mean, a lot as opposed to, and then they maybe will talk about the game now. Whereas if we would have had the week then, there would have been so much other stuff we could have been talking about. We would have been nonstop football. Instead, we just get this bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. Get
Yeah.
rid of that week. The NFL will never do it. Too much money in it for them.
Yeah.
But even so, they need to get rid of this moving forward. So that's my dislike of the week, Andy.
It's a fair dislike, but yeah, it'll never change. And they used to be Pro Bowl week, right? So we used to get the Pro Bowl during this time. It's a time for players to share. It's like there's some interesting stories, like David Montgomery, Detroit Lions running back, was sharing some words on while he was making his rounds, sort of suggesting, "Hey, I'm happy to stay in Detroit." So there was some good news coming out of the week, and so yeah, it's too big of a week. It's too much of a moneymaker. It's not going away. But I can understand your frustration. It's fair. The weekend without football is miserable. So.
It's just there's nothing like it's just blah. Okay. All right. So all right, where are you gonna go with like of the week, Andy?
All right, Dave, I have to do a little bit differently this week because there are like in a time of darkness, celebrate the points of light. So Dave, I'm gonna go from 3 to 1. I have to do it this way. Bear with me.
Okay.
Three. I want to celebrate. I love music. I'm gonna come back to music. Dave, the Black Keys, a band I really like, they have been putting out albums at an unbelievable pace. I mean, it's like every year they're releasing a new album. Some great, some not so great. But again, yesterday they dropped a new song, You Gotta Lose, from an album that's coming out later this year, I think in May, if I recall. They're constantly putting out music and touring. And I think at this point, I think the two main guys, Dan and Patrick, I think they've been, I don't think they exist. I think they're just been replaced by AI cranking out music because they're coming out so fast and fierce. New song's a lot of fun. You Gotta Lose. You can check it out. Good song. Thank you, Black Keys, for like your dedication to your work. That's my three. My runner up, Dave. I've got to pause and celebrate my governor in Virginia, Abigail Spanberger, who has come out. One of her campaign promises was to get Virginia law enforcement to stop supporting ICE activities, and she's done it. In an executive order, she released just I think on Wednesday, if I recall, pushing Virginia to no longer be complicit, state law enforcement complicit in supporting ICE activities, calling instead for dignity, for respect in law enforcement, and to work for the people of the Commonwealth, not to assault Virginians and residents here in the state. So that's my runner up, Dave. But my number one, thank you for your patience. I am celebrating Flavor Flav, Chuck D, Public Enemy. 2 years ago, Flavor Flav burst into things with the Olympics, cheering on, celebrating, supporting women's water polo. And Dave, he's keeping it going at a time, I share this on the socials, at a time when so many people are tearing others down. Flavor is up there celebrating, building people up, and celebrating women's sports. They re-released a classic song, He Got Game. They retitled it She Got Game, and they brought it back to celebrate women's sports champion athletes going into these Winter Olympics. It's a fun song. It's a great celebration. I love him and Chuck using their platform to get the word out, focus on the good, build women up, celebrate women's sports, celebrate the good in America and around the world today. Awesome job, Flavor Flav. I love it. That is my like of the week.
There you go. That sounds like a really good one, Andy, for sure. So, a series of ones for sure.
I
So,
had to.
all
Sorry,
right,
bear with me. I had to.
mine's going to be very simple, Andy. My like of the week is the snow day. And we had the snow in Charlotte. We came back from Florida just to get into the snow. But there's nothing like a snow day, Andy. And there's nothing like walking around. I don't like again, the beautiful thing about Charlotte is we had snow, we had about 6 to 8 inches. Some places got a little bit more. But within 2 days it's gone,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
can really appreciate that. But really, just having that, it reminds me back of being a kid again and just wanting to go out, builds a snow fort or something. To see my daughter embracing that, which she hasn't seen snow much in her life, but she's a
Yeah,
couple things here and there, Seattle, the mountains in Seattle and here. It's been great. So my like of the week was having those snow days earlier in the week, and I just can get behind that for sure. So.
I'm glad. A good thing to celebrate. A snow day, your daughter's happiness and joy. I think that's great, Dave. A good look. There is in fact a lot of darkness in the world right now. Being able to celebrate the good things like that, family, fun, celebration. I think it's great. So there's goodness. There's goodness as we head into Super Bowl weekend, Dave.
That is right. All right, Andy, we went a little longer than normal today, but it was good pod, and I hope you have a good trip down to see your son. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and I'm looking forward to talking recap of the Super Bowl. Also, the Hall of Fame class was announced yesterday, and the NFL honors, so we can cover some of that next week as well. Your boy Stafford pulled out the MVP,
Yes,
so
sir.
we'll see how that goes. But all right, Andy, with that, enjoy the Super Bowl, and I'll catch up with you on Monday.